I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna ask the question on everyone's lips, on everyone's mind right now. James Wan, who the hell hurt you? Malignant, like, have you seen it? What is up, everybody? My name is Kevin Halden, and I am your host with the most. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. You may have seen my Holiday Monday review. Please do check out that movie. Check out all my reviews down below. But today, we are going to be talking about James Wan's Malignant. I don't know where to even begin with this movie, so we'll be getting into that in a second. But first of all, please do hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. The notification bell is what it says. It is a bell that will let you know whenever I drop an episode, so I don't have to get on the phone and let you know, send you a message to let you know, send you an email to let you know. So once you've watched Screen Junkies, Screen Rant, once you've watched What Culture, or anything like that, you can watch us as well. Nerdly Out Loud, you will see my Chevy Chase. I do the reviews, I do the interviews, and my good buddy Phil over on the website, he has put out a couple of unboxing reviews where he did a Batmobile scaled car. That was pretty cool. And Undone Watches sent him the new Space Jam 2 watch. If you like Space Jam 2, check out the watch. Don't check out my review of Space Jam 2 if you liked Space Jam 2, because spoiler alert, I did not. Undone Watches have been absolutely fantastic with us here at Nerdly, and it is great to be sort of in cahoots with those guys, and we will bring more if there is more incoming. Every now and then, I go on a little bit of a horror kick. You will see that I did my reviews for Fear Street on Netflix. Really enjoyed that. And James Wan is a director I have been following his career path for some time. Genuinely have always enjoyed his movies. Back in the day when he made, I believe it was Saw 1 that he made, Lee Whannell wrote that, he directed it, he had me from the start. Conjuring 2, I've been on record as saying I think it is the most perfect horror movie. Possibly it branches out into its own genre of just being a perfect sequel, a perfect movie. I love Conjuring 2. I will rave about it forever and a day. Fast 7, however, not amazing, but you know what? It is faster than the Furious franchise. You do what you're told. Aquaman, genuinely loved it. And after seeing this shit, after seeing Malignant, I don't want to see a horror version of Aquaman. Do not do this to me, James Wan. We are going to get into Malignant right now. James Wan's new horror slash thriller slash whodunit slash action movie.
And now, our feature presentation.
I am going to stick with my normal routine, which is that I will talk about the plot. God help me, how am I going to talk about the plot of this movie? But I will try my absolute best. Then I will move into cast and characters. Yes, we will be doing that. Then I will move into what I liked and what I didn't like, and it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Then I will bring you my final Nerdly rating. That doesn't mean it's the official Nerdly rating overall, it just means it is my rating, my personal rating, but let's be honest, I'm the most important guy there. So, you come for me, you come for the talent, this face is all at Nerdly. I don't think I could do this plot any justice at all. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to read the synopsis, and hopefully that will clear something up. So our main character, Madison, played by Annabelle Wallis. Brilliant. Really. Annabelle Wallis, we'll talk about her in a second. So Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities. That is kind of this movie in a nutshell. The movie starts as a straight horror, straight James Wan Conjuring top-level horror. Really good. Madison, the main character, again played by Annabelle Wallis, as I just said, she's kind of in a kind of sleep coma thing, and she's witnessing people being murdered, and we don't really know who by, but she can see it, nobody else can see it, and of course the police and everyone else begin to think it is her. And then the movie turns into a little bit of a whodunit as we begin to really investigate what's going on. And the police are on the case and they think that Madison could be the killer, but they're not sure. They want to believe that it's not her. Plus, she seems pretty convincing that it's not really her. But if you keep turning up at the scene of the crime, chances are you did the crime. And then the movie kind of does a little bit of an exposition dump on you. You get a whole load of information right before the third act really begins, and the third act turns into Dawn of the Dead / Die Hard / every zombie movie ever made, kind of. Why is my voice going so high? I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much the premise of this movie. It's a strange one. There's a killer on the loose. Madison doesn't know who it is. She might be involved, but we don't know how. We find out how she's involved, and your brain goes... So let's talk about the cast and crew. Annabelle Wallis as Madison is brilliant. She is fantastic, to the point where everybody else in this movie is ass. Like, they're not great, they're not fantastic, they're doing a job, they're very serviceable, but let it be known, Annabelle Wallis is the star of this movie. She is going to carry it from the beginning to the end, and when you get the twists and the cockamamie shenanigans that are a little bit over the top, she makes it slightly believable, because she's a good actress. So well done to Annabelle Wallis. Some of our cheese on cheese actors. We have Maddie Hasson as Sydney Lake. We have George Young as Detective Cocoa Shaw. And we have Michole Briana White as Regina Moss. Now, when I say cheese on cheese, that's not a slur. I'm not slandering them whatsoever. They are doing their part and they are playing their part really well. Because I guess if they are a little bit over the top and a little bit scene-chewy, then the character of Madison, which does get a bit nuts towards the end, I will tell you, that character kind of just looks mental compared to everyone else. So they kind of ground it by being a little bit over the top, and we can believe her a little bit more, I guess. So that's all good. I mean, the acting's fine. It's serviceable. It is a standard horror movie. But when it comes to James Wan and we're expecting Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga type acting, like I say, Conjuring 2 is just bloody awesome. It's an amazing film. So I'm going to move into what I did and didn't like. And what I did like was the fact that this movie doesn't let up. It doesn't hold anything back. James Wan literally said to himself, I'm going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. I keep thinking about this, and it tends to be like these directors that go out and make the big budget Disney movie or the big budget Marvel movie or DC movie. You know, look at the tail of the tape. James Gunn does Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he needs to go a little bit off the wall and does the Suicide Squad. And then and Brightburn, he did Brightburn as well in between those movies, which, you know, superbly dark. I know he didn't direct it, but he had a lot to do with it. And then you got like J.J. Abrams, who went off and did Star Wars and then came back Overlord, which was madcap. Zack Snyder did his like Batman movies. I know Zack Snyder's always been a little bit dark, but then when he went away and did like his other movies, Army of the Dead and whatnot. So I think it's like a thing. If you do the big budget Hollywood movie and the movie that you're going to get paid for, you then get to do some random mind meld of a movie. And that's what James Wan did here, because he did Aquaman and now he's done this. I genuinely love the fact that he's throwing all these different tropes and all these different genres at the wall and seeing what sticks. And it does go a little bit left field. And when you get that twist, I mean, this is a literal recreation of what I did when that scene happened. And if you've seen the movie, you know what that scene is. I kind of just did this. And a massive shout out to that scene, Zoe Bell. We love you. You are awesome. And if you didn't see it with Zoe Bell, then that's your problem. I suppose the only thing that I really didn't like was the fact that it's not The Conjuring. It's more so he is going back to the James Wan horror roots. So fair play. But I kind of just wanted another Conjuring movie, that's my fault. That's not James Wan's fault. This was a palate cleanser for him. He had some expressing to do, and I'm glad he's expressed himself. Happy days, Mr. Wan. That is awesome. But for me, I guess it just goes a little bit too left field. Like, I did spend a lot of this movie kind of knowing where it was going. I will say it's not a surprise. The twist and the arc of this movie, you kind of see it coming a mile off. But when it happens, oh boy, does it happen. And he just says, right, everybody's going to know the twist. Everybody's going to get it because they're movie fans, the horror fans. They know what's coming. So let's just throw a load of gore and a load of violence at them and overload the sensories and make it as messed up as we can. And boy, do they do that. So yeah, fair dues. And the last thing I'm going to point out that I really liked is that it does have a certain James Wan flair. He can be throwing blood at the screen. He can be throwing guts at the screen. He could be exploding heads. There's no exploding heads, but there might be. He could be doing all this gory stuff and everything like that, but it's always going to look like a James Wan movie. It's the same with Aquaman. I genuinely thought that looked like a James Wan movie. And I like his aesthetic. I like his style. I like the way his movies feel. And I love his scores and his themes and everything like that. So that's kind of the last thing that I'm going to say I like. And when it comes to my rating, like my final overall rating, I really didn't know where to sit on this one. And I'm going to go for a 3.5, which is a little bit harsh. I fully admit that it's a little bit harsh. But I was expecting a little bit more James Wan Conjuring and a little bit less James Wan Soul. Like, I was expecting a little bit less of that because I kind of feel like he's graduated from the horror porn, if you know what I mean, like the thrills and spills that Saul gave us. I guess if you're going to go back to that, that's cool. But I am a little bit worried that Aquaman 2 is just going to be straight up horror. Like, when we go into the trench, we are just going to be like engulfed with like zombies and witches and warlocks and stuff like that. Again, I'm being super, super vague about what is going on in this movie, but what I will say is that this is a movie that you need to watch, if only for that one scene. It's going to stick in my mind for a long time to come. Like I say, I knew what the twist was going to be. I knew where the story was going to go. I did not see that coming, how it happened. Didn't see it coming, and boy, was I, like I say, just great. Like, in that case, he won me over. He threw me for 6. I'm gonna stick with a 3.5. It's a strong 3.5, but it's a 3.5 nonetheless. James Wan, I will always salute you. I will always watch anything you make, and I will go back and watch The Conjuring 2 a million times over. But for now, my name has been Kevin Halden. This has been Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favorite British home for all of your news, reviews, and exclusive interviews. I am off. Please do keep checking out the reviews. I'm dropping more and more. I did the Holiday Monday, which if you've watched it, I hope you've watched the movie by now. Do check out Malignant, if anything, just for that scene. And it's some James Wan aesthetically pleasing goodness. So check it out for that as well. But I'm going to go for now. So yeah, please do like, subscribe, and all that stuff.